situation where there is a blood distinction between what is private and what is public, Honorable Speaker. The era that we have been speaking of state capture will never come to an end. This is the opportunity we have as a house, and the country and history will judge us based on what we do with this bill. If we speak so much about the fight against corruption, and every time there is mention of a scandal here and there, the political class are usually the first to speak against corruption. Let us not just speak about against corruption and speak about corruption. Let us act. Let us enact laws that will ensure that there is no corruption, there is no conflict of interest, and in line with what we provided for when we elected to have this constitution as the supreme law of our country, that we actualize the provisions of Article 6, and specifically that 75, 1A and B that I have read. With that, Honorable Speaker, I do want to submit, Honorable Speaker, that we hold our horses as we await the jailer committee to table the addendum, and we be able to see what is it that they have proposed for amendments. And that is not to say, Honorable Speaker, that what JLAC will have proposed as amendments, if they do not carry an amendment that I intend to move, nothing, Honorable Speaker, stops any member of this House from moving an amendment to rectify what they think should be rectified in the bill. And if it makes sense, Honorable Speaker, without diluting the objectives of the bill, we shall support. But we must also do so in a cautious manner. With that, Honorable Speaker, I beg that we allow the jailer committee to finish their work and appraise the House accordingly. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Ocheng. Yes, I'll come to you. I've given to David Ocheng.
No, thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also want to add my voice on this particular matter, and I agree with Honorable Otiende that there are issues that
give to David Ocheng the mic.
There are issues we need to address going forward, Mr. Speaker. I was so worried when I saw the bill in the draft order paper this morning, and I want to thank you and thank the House Bills Committee for seeing the sense in putting the bill.
What's happening to the mic?
But, Mr. Speaker, the biggest issue...
Order, honorable members. I want to hear order.
Mr. Speaker, the biggest issue...
Order, Irene Kasalo and your team.
Mr. Speaker, the reason I believe this bill...
Order. I'm being called upon to make a ruling on a bill before you. Give me an opportunity to hear.
Mr. Speaker, the reason I believe this bill is very urgent is that sometimes we think about things in a very pedantic way, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this country today is in this place it's in because we have allowed every government official to do business at every corner. And like I said last week, Mr. Speaker, the reason we're even having issues of liquidity is that we are allowing everybody, including members of parliament, to do business, but because...
Thank you very much.
The Honorable Gideon Ochanda, member for Bondo.
Thanks a lot, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, if nature is good to your members, then all of us are basically talking about the subject matter on us. All of us are going to get to this stage if you're not yet there already. We are really the subject matter here. Madam Speaker, what we have had in this country or in many other third world countries is the little care that is placed on issues of social security, whether it is health, whether it is issues of pensions, whether there are issues of gratuities. I think there's been a major problem that we've had, more so as Kenya. At the moment, you can categorize elders in very many ways. There are those who are old because of age and they have not been in any skilled service. There are those who have been in skilled service. There are those who have been really professionals in terms of what they have been doing before. But on retirement, they are either are looked at the same, yet many retire, but they are never tired. You look at the kind of problem we have, particularly in education now with the teachers. Parents are paying for close to half of what TSC is paying in the name of BOM teachers or board teachers. Yet, each year, there are very many people, many professional teachers who retire at 60. And then you realize that between 60 and 70, many of them still have the energy to engage. And that happens also even with other different professionals, including those who are in the disciplined services. We have clear arrangements like in the veteran organization, veteran programs, that really give space for those who retire to engage differently. And once you retire and retire to nothing, chances of you dying much more faster are higher than when somebody retires and retires to some engagement. Retiring to something that still engages you, retiring to say that you appear like you have not retired, your life gets a little bit enhanced. Yet we are in a situation now where elders are operating or surviving in all manner of odds. The returns in terms of what they are doing has been reducing. Cultures are changed. Many communities are no longer placing elders where they were before. Pensioners, their money gets down with age. The more older you become, the more your pension reduces. So if you look at all these things, there are all manner of odds against the elders. And some very clear-cut program must be placed in front of them. In this country, we are talking about a life expectancy, if I checked last, was 62 years or 60, the life expectancy. That means that the group that we are talking about, their numbers have been reducing over a period of time. And if we check properly, it is a number that cannot help, the government can fail to support. The number has been reducing over a period of time. And if you put them in the categories that I was talking about, those that were professionals, and you still link them with their professional career, link them around what they were doing, in as much as you can give them some little support here